Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, is supported by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Go to manscaped.com and get 20% off plus free shipping with code CLUB at 22. Your balls will thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome to Club Reaction here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast, as Rangers defeat Ross County by 4-2 at Ibrox, Remembrance Day at Ibrox. I am your host, Scott Carney. I have rushed home to record this, as has my guest, Ryan. How are you?
Very good, yes, and I really enjoyed that today. It was a impeccable minute silence at Ibrox, as always, and a most enjoyable day. Maybe a couple too many goals that I didn't want to see, but no, it was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable, and the big bastard and Cannon was back again to make us all have a wee wake-up call, I suppose, and we'll get into the game. It worked for some, didn't work for others, that Cannon, that's definitely for sure. A scoreline that doesn't represent the game. It kind of echoes the first game that we had against them this season. It's just, it was not a 4-2 game. There's just no doubt about it. It's our inability to be able to keep a clean sheet right now for whatever reason. I really don't know. There was just moments today that were kind of just out of nowhere as well, like really unpressured, just silly mistakes really, that's led to Ross County pretty much getting 2 goals, but not ideal, but we did respond very well. I will say that. I think we responded very well, and some players have stepped up to the plate today. I think that's for sure. The start 11 today was McGregor, Tav, Goldson, Balogun, Bassey, Lundstrom, Bakuna, Aribo, Hadji, Sakala and Kent. Yes!
Very well done.
Brilliant, mate. Oh, I'm delighted at that. That was real good, because that's not a usual lineup, mate, and that's why you kind of struggle with something like that. Mate, I met you just before the games, before we went into Ibrox. I don't think anybody's seen that kind of team coming.
No, I don't think anyone would have picked that at all. There was quite a few surprises in there. We knew the front line was going to be different after Gerrard's comments during the week. The midfield was both. But I said to you before the game, I like this. I like that I never thought Gerrard would ever change it. I thought he'd always play at least 2 sitting defensive midfielders, but he went for it today, and we'll elaborate on that just in a bit. But I liked it. I was quite excited by the starting lineup, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I say it was just a shock to the system. I think it was a wee bit of a statement from Gerrard today as well, that if you're not going to perform, I'm going to give other people a chance to perform. And I say some really have grasped that opportunity, in my personal opinion. Also, the big news is that Ryan Jack was back on the bench. I was in Ibrox about 25 past 2 or something today, and I didn't take my eyes off Ryan Jack the whole time he was warming up, and I felt a wee bit weird because I was like, I've not stopped staring at this guy. It's a wee bit strange, but it was brilliant to see him back, to be completely honest. But we'll get into the game, Ryan, and Rangers start the way we like to start football games, dominating pretty much this first couple of minutes, and then just decide we'll just play a loose pass into the midfield and literally let Ross County run straight through us. And they finish it off, and it's 1-0 to Ross County. Are we going to just accept this now for the rest of the season, that this is what we do?
Yeah, I turned to the guy next to me and I said, "This is us. Like, this is us now. It's no longer a surprise. This is what we do, and let's all jump. Let's all accept it now. It's entertainment business we're in." I'm delighted. If we're conceding the first goal, let's just be happy about it. We're going to go and score more goals. It's just that's the way it is now. It's not a thing. It's just Rangers concede the first goal. We make it hard for ourselves. It gives all the people at Ibrox something to grumble about. It looks as if that's just the way we're going to play this season. I don't see it changing unless he changes personnel. And it's hard to target an individual. It's a collective thing as a defence. We're just not doing the basics or doing our job right, and especially at the beginning of games. It's just, what's that, 10 or 11 times this season now?
11 times, mate.
Unbelievable.
It really is. As I say, I think we're just going to need to accept it. When it happened, I was just sitting, I turned to my dad and I was like, well, of course, Ross County are ahead. Why would they not be ahead? This is the theme of the season. This is the way we're approaching football games just now. Just baffling, honestly. And you're right, mate. I can't really pick out somebody that was wrong there. There was probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 things that all went wrong there. And McGregor tried his hardest to rush out to it. But, I mean, it's a decent finish, do you know what I mean? But you're sitting going, Ross County are ahead at Ibrox within 5 minutes in this game. What is going on here? You could hear people were screaming for offside and whatever else, especially behind me. There was some real screams at the linesman, got that one completely wrong. I haven't seen it back, but I have seen people saying that it wasn't offside. So, have you seen it back, Ryan? Was it offside?
I've not seen it back, so it's just maybe a bit 10, 15 yards down the line from me. But I've not seen it back, but I did hear in the radio that there's been shouts for it being offside. If it is and if it's not, it's a goal, and we've been caught out, we've been caught flat-footed again.
Yeah, I think I said that to the guys round about me. I said, it's kind of irrelevant whether it's offside or onside. It doesn't really matter. It's a goal, and we have done exactly the same thing that we keep hearing that we're going to stop doing. And it's just one of them things where you're like, I mean, honestly, and for the entire rest of that half, genuinely, Ross County did nothing. Absolutely nothing else in the rest of that half. Rangers completely dominated the rest of the half. We were on the front foot, playing some really good football. A lot of things we're trying weren't quite coming off, but I think that's down to the amount of changes that were made. Players at Sakala, I thought he was pretty good. He was trying link-up play. Bakuna was showing some real flashes of what he could do. And I think he was finding his feet, if you like, in the first half before we'll go on to him in the second half. And Hadji as well, he just decided that he was going to be a bit like a man possessed. But none were more possessed than Ryan Kent. I don't think he looks like he's missed playing football, and he could not wait to get at Ross County today. He was everywhere, literally left, right, the free role that you would expect from Ryan Kent. And I thought he was tremendous, and he was pivotal for keeping us on the front foot. And then we get an equaliser from the corner, whipped in by James Tavernier. Joe Aribo's at the front post. It's a really, really good finish. And Ryan, we just had a corner just before that, coming from the main stand side in. And we tried that corner and it didn't work. We tried it the second time and it did work, but it's a cracking finish by Aribo.
Aribo likes a front post run, Aribo, and it's a perfect, if you can get across to him, obviously a big guy. Mr. Consistent just now. I think he's the most consistent Rangers player this season so far. We've spoke about a player taking us to the next gear. I think he's trying his utmost to take us to that next gear that we need to get into. And yeah, I thought it was a great start from him, and then he deserved his goal as well. It was a great header.
It was a great header. He was another one that really did shine today. He ended up getting the man of the match by the sponsors today. And again, Aribo, when he's in the mood, he's so dangerous. So we'll continue on in the half, and obviously we then take the lead. Again, nothing to report on a Ross County point of view. They did very little to do anything really. I can't remember them honestly being up the other end of the park the entire rest of that half. And it's Ryan Kent with a kind of looping, dipping shot, if you like, kind of Ryan Kent style. But I was delighted for him, Ryan, and we were quite rightly 2-1 up.
Yeah, we deserved it at that point. As you said, Ross County hadn't offered anything. You wouldn't expect it. They're 1-0 up at Ibrox. You wouldn't expect them to go gung-ho or try to counter-attack. They were probably just trying to hold on to their lead till half-time. But Rangers were peppering their goal. I thought we were playing some really nice stuff at times, attacking, not overplaying it in the midfield, which I think was Gerrard's target with that lineup today. We weren't overpassing it. There's a couple of, I think Lundstrom just maybe about 5 minutes before that had a shot with his left foot and it got blocked. I liked the way it was looking in the first half. Players were trying to make things happen through the middle instead of constantly going down the wings, and Ryan Kent really looks, like we said during the week, match sharp. He doesn't look as if he's been away from football. He looks as if he needed that break, and I'm excited. If that's the way he's going to kick on now, I'm excited because that was a great goal. It was typical Ryan Kent. He looked very busy today.
Yeah, and you could see the reaction of the players after he'd scored that every single player went over to him apart. I thought the only one that didn't, I think, was McGregor, because that's probably just a wee bit too far for McGregor's legs to carry him. But every player went over to him, and I think it just shows how hard he's been working on himself, and he just looks like he's missed playing football. He was great today. He really was. And at half time, we were 2-1 up. A weird feeling at half time. I didn't really know if I should be feeling up, feeling down, or roundabout, to be completely honest. Met Ali at half time, and he said, at least when we concede early. And I was like, well, that's a good thing, I suppose. It gives us plenty of time to get back into the game. But yeah, I was at no point feeling like Ross County were really going to get back into this game. I'll be completely honest. Again, no real disrespect to them. They are not a good footballing team. They really are not. They struggle to do anything, to be completely honest. At one point, I remember turning around to my dad and saying, are Ross County actually trying to score, or are they not trying to score? And if you're not trying to score in a game of football, I'm not really sure what you're trying to do. Like, it didn't look like they were holding on, but it also didn't look like they were going for it. So, as I said, we've said at the start, the scoreline flatters them. Really something chronic. So into the second half, mate, and pretty much the perfect start to the half. Really, really good work in the left-hand side for Bacuna. I find the space to get the shot away, and it is an absolute peach of a strike. It really is, and that's what I was meaning by him in the first half. A few times in the first half, things didn't really come off for him, but I think he was finding where the space is going to be, where we see he was going to get success, and he took full advantage of that to get himself that space for that goal, and it's a tremendous strike, and it looked like it meant a lot to him as well.
I think we said before the game, I was surprised he was in the team, because it looked like he was actually falling out of favour with Gerrard, if anything. But he's taken that with both hands today. I think he offers us something that Gerrard's been speaking about in terms of being aggressive on the ball. He wants our Gerrard team to be aggressive off the ball, but he wants us to be aggressive on the ball as well. And he was aggressive on it. He had a few passes of play, and he was trying to make it work through the middle, a few shots. I did shout at him just before he hit it, because I thought he'd a chance to hit it first time, and he took that extra touch, and I was just about to rip him, and I was kind of mid, and then he ripped it into the net. So I was like, well done, McKenna, well done. I'll just shut up now. It's a brilliant bit pass. Was it Aribo that played the 1-2 with him?
I think it was either Aribo or Bassi. I can't remember.
Right, it
off
was
the top
a
of my
great
head.
bit of play though, and there was a couple of those today that they played some nice 1-2s, but I thought he was brilliant today. I really think he grabbed it with two hands. And do you play him in the next game's a semi-final, isn't it? He's well in with a shout of playing that semi-final.
Especially the way he turned up in the second half, mate, because it clicked for him in the second half. And I'm not criticising his performance in the first, far from it. I think he tried. Ali said a few things this week that's going to come back and bite him on the arse. One, he said live on there, Rangers would not concede. We conceded 2. And also he said at half-time, I'd whip him off now. I'd whip him off at half-time, put somebody else on. I didn't quite get to that level. I said he's trying. He's definitely trying to make something happen. And he's got that demeanour about him, because it kind of looks like he can't be arsed. Do you know what I mean? It kind of looks like he can't be bothered, but he was getting stuck in at times as well today. I thought he put in a right good shift.
Aye, yeah, I think he did as well. I think he was a lot of energy in his play. I also think there was one down at just down from me in probably the Brimlin end on the touchline, and he put a really hard tackle in, which I didn't think he had in his locker. Mm-hmm. And then the referee ended up giving a foul maybe about 5 or 10 seconds later, because there was a bit of hustling on the ball. But he's not scared to put a tackle in and win that ball back, which is important to Gerrard's style of play as well. But no, I thought he covered himself in a lot of glory today. And I think we've got to remember as well, when you look at that team today, Bacuna's not played with like Sakala on that side and Bassi behind him. There was a lot of combinations today that they've not played together, and we want it to instantly happen, but I think there's a lot going for us today with that setup. And no, Bacuna's come out looking rosy for me.
I think he deserves the time. He deserves the time to settle. Look, everybody would written off Sakala. A lot of people had written off Sakala, and he went and put in a hat-trick against Motherwell. And I do think in spells today, Sakala was really good, really positive, really being on the front foot, and he's beginning to build his confidence as well and settle in. So, I mean, I don't think any of them really did any harm today. Rangers made subs as well, so... Well, now this is going to test my memory. Ryan Kent came off in around 60 minutes, and Kamar Roof came on for him. And then the double substitution of Balogun came off for Nathan Patterson, and Ryan Jack returned for Lundstrom. Yes. Yeah, it was brilliant. Well done. But I mean, the reception that Ryan Jack got when he came on, mate, was pretty special, to be honest. You could see Hadji just before he was coming on. Hadji's proper waving his hands, trying to get the crowd to give a massive ovation for him, and he certainly got it when he came on, and it's brilliant to see Jacko back.
Aye, and Giannis, I know you'll be watching, but you do not need to do that to us. We fully appreciate Ryan Jack, and we know how much that meant to him come back on that pitch and pulling that jersey on. So I get what Hadji was doing. I do love he's got that rapport with the crowd, but you don't need to do that. Jack was getting that anyway. Well-deserved reception. It was brilliant to see him. As soon as he ran on the pitch, I think he made one like simple 5-yard pass, and I just turned to the guy next to me and said, "Man, I'm actually already." he's got it in the bag. He's got it in the bag. The orange boots in a pass, that'll do me.
Yeah,
great to see him.
Brilliant to see him, and he kept things tidy. He kept things neat and tidy, as you would expect. He's missed a lot of football, so you would expect that. He kept it neat and tidy, but the first pass that he played on, what you're talking about, it was hit with conviction. I'll put it that way. It was straight to the feet, quite a bit of pace behind the ball, and it's just good to see him back. I've said for a long time about Ryan Jack how much a fan I am of him, and I think he deserves one more crack at the whip. Look, if he ends up injured again, I can't see a way back in for him, because we're eventually going to need to replace him, which will be sad, but unfortunately these things happen in football. But I just hope that the way that Rangers have managed this injury that he had, obviously with the operation, and they've took their time to get him back. So I think even the wee slight niggles that were popping up on recovery, we'll push you back a week, which is frustrating as a player, but I'm just delighted to see him back. He could be a massive part of the rest of our season, in my opinion. And then we go 4-1 up. Not 100% sure I've got that in the right order, but we go 4-1 up with James Tavernier own goal, kind of, if you like. He kind of fires the ball across the face of the goal, and it's turned into the own net by Ross County, really to kind of seal their disastrous performance, to be completely honest. At Ibrox today, there were not much left in them at all. I wasn't on target, Ryan, so we can't really give it to him. But at this point, I thought Rangers could probably make this score anything they want it to be.
Yeah, that's the first time I can remember us scoring 4 goals for a long time, which isn't great, but does also, let's be positive, it does show Gerrard got it right today with his team. I do feel he did get it right. Like we said, it's caused a lot of people surprised going to Ibrox today, seeing that lineup. He's got it right. I think he's possibly a bit fed up with it overpassing and overplaying and not being direct and not being aggressive. He got his rewards today, and the manager got it spot on for me. We had a lot of shots on goal today, probably more shots from outside the box than I've seen us have in the past 4 months in one game. The boys were going for it, which I love to see. You know, I'm a huge fan of seeing us having a crack. But yeah, we controlled the game, and at that point I was thinking, yeah, this will do 6 or 7 win today. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, as I say, I just never felt in doubt today that Rangers would eventually come back and win this match. It just didn't. We just had to give away the compulsory first goal, as we like to do, as we've said, and we need to accept it now. Ross County started to play football a wee bit when it was 4-1 down. I turned to my dad, I was like, imagine being a Ross County fan and your team's 4-1 down at Ibrox, and then you finally decide, you know what we should do, lads? We should actually try and pass the ball to each other, see if we can get something going. And again, their goal comes from, in my personal opinion, just switching off. We just didn't really fully deal with the ball when it was cleared away. We've just kind of left the man on the left-hand side. Look, at this point, Nathan Patterson was at left back. Bassey was at centre back. Not exactly your top choice defending. However, it is against Ross County at Ibrox, and you're 4-1 up. You should really be doing better. It's a good finish, don't get me wrong. Boy finishes it really well, but it's just, a defensive lapse again, really, Ryan.
As I think the substitutions possibly disturbed the team a bit more than we would have wanted it to. Patterson at left back was causing my head great confusion every time I looked at. I was like, "What way are we attacking? You're on the wrong fucking side." But I just Bassey at left, obviously left centre back, and then Patterson next to him is just. I don't think you'll see that again. So yeah, I think the subs unsettled us a bit, but I also think fatigue sneaked in a wee bit with Rangers at the end of the game, and I think they did start to look a bit tired. Instead of kicking on and getting the fifth and sixth goal that we all wanted, I think they looked a bit tired, and I'm not going to have a go at them for that. I'm happy Rangers got the points. We were aggressive today. Yeah, but it's another stupid goal and people not doing the basics right. And if we can eradicate that and get back to the basics and defend properly and play like that at the other end, then we'll be fine.
Yeah, mate, I can't disagree with you there. 4-2 flatters Ross County. There is absolutely no doubt about it. It really does. That was the two things they done in that game. Look, and kudos to them. Yes, they managed to score their 2 goals, but I mean, they shouldn't have been allowed to happen. It's Rangers really needing to just sort themselves out at the back. We've made it to nearly 21 minutes of this podcast, mate, and I've not mentioned the ref yet, but I'm going to. I don't know who that was. Do you know who that referee was?
I don't. I said to a few boys, I was like, I've never seen him before. Is he a new referee? And nobody seemed to know who he was. I don't anticipate him refereeing at Ibrox or a top level match. Again, that was something else. When it comes to refereeing performance, that was something else. And I've never said the referee's against Rangers or anything like that. And I still don't believe he is. I think he's just an absolute dog shit referee. Some of his decisions were horrendous today. Absolutely horrendous.
He was making up rules today. There was a few times where I was like, this guy is generally just making his own rules up. The boy that was playing up front for Ross County, I forget his name, he booted the ball away, right? And then he warned him for booking the ball away. You can't do that. That's not a rule. The rule is if you're going to talk to him for booting the ball away, you yellow card him. There is no rule. There's no in between that. If you're time wasting, you're kicking the ball away, it's a booking. So from then on, he was just an absolute disaster. I mind when referees are bad. Of course I do. It does my head in that referees are bad. But I don't mind if they're consistently bad for both teams. You're like, okay, fair enough. You're just not a very competent ref. That's fine. Some of the decisions he made today, I was literally baffled. I'm like, there was, especially at the end of the first half, Balogun got booked pretty harshly, in my opinion. Balogun got booked. Then the boy after that completely wiped out Bassey and get nothing, like absolutely nothing. I'm like, you can't book Balogun for what he's just done there, and then not book the boy. I can't remember his name. McCormick, maybe that's his name. It plays for. Forget his name. Anyway, but you can't book him. And then some of the decisions, even the 50-50 ones that you were like, it could go either way. It was all Ross County. There was just moments of, I don't know. I just think he was well out of his depth. I think he was in amongst a big crowd. And yeah, I can't, I genuinely cannot, I can't understand a lot of them decisions. Am I being harsh, or is that probably a bit right?
No, I think you've got it spot on. It's the worst refereeing performance I've seen this season. And I think Rangers won. The game was never in doubt with Rangers today, and so you're not turning and blaming the referee for Rangers playing poorly today, because we didn't. You're not turning and blaming the referee for any of the goals Rangers conceded, because we're not. We know it's Rangers' fault. Rangers were good today, played some nice football. The scoreline flattered Ross County, but we're still talking about a referee, and that tells you everything. He had a shocker, an absolute shocker today for a number of reasons, decisions. Throw-ins down at the Govan front, overruled his linesman. The linesman was 10, 15 yards away, gave the throw-in to Rangers, and he overruled his linesman. It was a strange performance, and I just think, like I say, I don't believe referees have one side or the other. I just think he had a shocker. He really looked a poor referee.
I'm the same, mate. I don't believe in referees cheat. I genuinely don't, because it's just not a thing. Do you know what I mean? It isn't a thing, but I believe in levels of refereeing, and he is miles off being a professional ref. He was shocking in every sense of the word. He was terrible. And you're right, mate. I am not blaming anything on the fact that we conceded 2 goals or we weren't even denied a penalty or anything like that. It's just the inconsistency of it was just, have you ever refereed a game of football before? Do you even know what you're doing? It was a hard watch at times because you're just left a bit confused by it all. But we'll leave him there, mate. We'll celebrate the fact that Rangers actually played pretty well today. We have conceded 2 daft goals. Defensive lapses at the back, but we've convincingly beat Ross County by 4 goals to 2, and it's good to see Kent back. It's good to see Ryan Jack back. It's good to see Bacuna taking his opportunity today. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy enough with it. I'm going to enjoy my dinner. I'm going to enjoy a couple of beers, and we head into the international break. Still 4 points clear, mate, and that's all you can really ask for. Who's your man of match today, Ryan?
My man of match is Joe Aribo. However, I thought Bacuna really played well today, made a lot of things happen, but Mr. Consistency, Joe Aribo is taking us to that next gear, and I am really impressed with him this season so far, and another goal for him. So yes, Joe Aribo for me.
Yeah, mate, I think I'll go along with you. I did think about giving it to Ryan Jack, but I don't think I'll get away with that, to be honest. So no matter how much of a fanboy I am, it has to be Aribo, I think. Bacuna is a shout, to be honest, mate. I think even Kent, for his first half performance, Kent was incredible. He kind of tailed off a wee bit in the second half, as you would expect, but he's still trying to get the minutes back in his legs. So you would expect that, but yeah, Mr. Consistency, you're spot on. I'll give a shout out to Tav as well. I thought Tav was great today. I think he put a lot of work up and down the right hand side. Again, another man that's pretty consistent in my eyes. So yeah, but I will go with Aribo. I think he's a game changer, Joe Aribo. And when he decides that he's going to take somebody on, it's like I've not seen much like it before. A man like it before, the way he is capable of going into a phone box with 25 men and he comes out with the football. It's incredible. It really is brilliant. So yeah, I'll give it to Aribo as well. And that's us. We'll head into a national break now. So we will be back on Tuesday with a Club Deck Corner. We'll do more reaction to this game. We'll round up a few other things as well. And towards the end of next week or this week coming, we're going to release our Walter show, our Walter Smith show. So please keep your eyes out for that. We're really looking forward to doing that. We're in the final kind of preps of it, nearly getting ready to record it. So really looking forward for that. Ryan, thank you for rushing home, mate, and joining me. I will enjoy your pint, mate. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Yes, I will go and enjoy my pint indeed. Rangers are 4 points clear. We shall not be moved, and we are clear of the best, unbelievable attacking team in Scotland, apparently. So just keep that in mind, everyone.
Yes, keep that in mind. The rampant Celts, I think, was getting passed about today. So yeah, but Rangers will be in crisis, no doubt, mate. According to the mainstream media, anyway. So yeah, Club at 22 is supported by Manscaped, the best in men's below the waist grooming. If you go to manscaped.com, use code Club at 22, you'll get 20% off and free shipping. You'll also be supporting this podcast if you use that code. So thank you to everybody who has used it so far, and if you could continue to do so, that would be great. What were your balls?
Your balls will thank you.
they will, thank you. So yes, shameless plug, please like the videos, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a wee 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, like, share, comment anywhere that you can. It really does help us and it helps support the podcast. So that's us. Until we speak to you again next time, we are Club at 22, the Champions Podcast. Thank you, everybody.